You are listening to the Lewis and Not Clark Show.
Thanks for joining us again. We have a very special guest with us today, the owner of Dapper Man, Bradley Brow. How you doing today, man?
Hey, man. How's it going, guys?
Dude, pretty good. I'm glad you're on here.
Yeah, man. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, sorry you don't look as good as you did on JTV, but
hey, you know,
don't worry, man. You're still stylish.
Got a face for radio.
You do got a face for radio. That's why we're doing. That's why we don't have a camera either. We should make a club, dude.
Right.
But so how'd you get into Dapper Man, dude? How'd that start?
Man, so I guess it's been quite a journey actually. Started going to school back in 2012 for hair. Prior to that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. Just kind of messing around, taking prereqs at like Jackson College and stuff.
That's the way to do it, dude.
Yeah, just wasting money,
Right. What else is Jackson for, huh?
Right. But yeah. So I was like, I messed around, cut a few of my friends' hair at the time, and everybody seemed to like what I was doing, so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll give this a shot for real, go to school for it and get licensed and do it legit, And yeah, I mean, started school, went to Douglas J. Beta in Ann Arbor, and life happened. It took me a little bit longer to get through the program. I had to stop and start. Actually finished up at Jackson in the Salon Academy over in Jackson. It used to be next to Jimmy John's there. Okay. And we finished up there in 2016, I believe it was. And then, so yeah, shop's been around now for about 2.5 years. It's going really well.
Sweet, dude. Yeah. So, what's your favorite hairstyle to do?
Favorite hairstyle? Man, I don't know.
Like if a guy's like, hey, I want this. You're like, thank goodness.
I really enjoy personalizing haircuts. I actually really prefer sometimes I like it when people have an idea, and it's like I can kind of personalize that, kind of tweak it to make it just really individualized. And
you like to be challenged?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing something different. Trends obviously are always changing, so I like to pay attention to those. And obviously mullets, I've been making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Dirt.
The best thing about 2020, I'll say, is a lot of people have been going back to the mullet style. Which
I don't know.
enjoy.
I hope that's a good sign, dude.
Absolutely.
I hope that's not a midlife crisis.
Right. No, I've seen a lot of younger guys and stuff.
Well, and me, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I actually need to get a trim on mine. Mine's not looking good. I look like a Hot Topic employee right now. But
we'll have to get you in.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So, what's more of the crazier styles people have asked? I guess when you're kind of like, wow, I don't know what I'm going to do this one or how it'll look, but I guess I'll do it for you.
Yeah, no, you know what? We always do a consultation, and guys come in, and I'll kind of assess the hair and just have a really honest conversation about like if this is going to work for their hair type,
Like, dude, you're bald.
Yeah. Definitely have a few of those.
Yeah. They're like, come on, dude, it grew last week.
I know. Sometimes, it's always tough, especially first-time clients who are, really thinning. It's like, this is a comb, not a magic wand. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, people want that, and I'm sure I would want that too, but there just comes a time, dude.
Be honest with it, right? And just like come to grips with it.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm not there anytime soon, though.
I know, dude. Yeah. Same.
Because if I am like that, it's like, how else am I going to spend money, dude?
I know. Right?
I can't get a haircut anymore. Maybe I can get that spray stuff on my head because it feels good. But other than that, what else am I going to do?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Wear a wig?
Yeah.
I can't pull that off with my square head.
They do like toupees. I don't know if you've ever seen like those Instagram videos where they'll like shave somebody's head and then like glue a piece of hair on.
Oh, jeez,
yeah,
dude.
like it comes out really
What do you have to
good.
get that glue from? A Nards? I mean, I don't even know where you would even...
Little Gorilla Glue.
I can't apply that, right?
Loctite.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know. I'm sure it's, medical grade or something like that.
Yeah, I would hope so, dude. If I had like blotches over my dome, I'd look like Caillou.
Oh, jeez.
So, you go to Calvary Church.
Yes, sir.
How long you been going there for?
Calvary Apostolic. Yeah. See, my family, we started going there, 20 years ago, I guess. Like, been a while. Yeah, we used to be out in Parma. We just moved into Jackson, actually. So.
Yeah, on Prospect Road, right?
Yes, sir. Prospect Street, 260 West Prospect. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I got a funny story about that building that they moved into.
Uh-oh.
So, I used to go to the Assembly downtown, and you know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool place.
Yeah, it is.
Cool location. I like that.
Yeah. It used to be like an old like warehouse, or not a warehouse. It used to be like an old men's clothing store.
Oh, really?
Back in the day, yeah.
Nice.
It's called Furman's.
Okay.
And
I've seen some like suits like at like thrift stores like Furman's, and I've seen like Jackson, Michigan,
yeah, it's from that building.
Like, man, that'd be cool if we still had a shop like that in town.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe that's what your next thing should be.
Maybe.
You just put it in the back. You're like, hey, after your haircut, you can look at my suits.
There you go.
But so before we bought that building, we were kind of renting out the church there, but there was a church there too. It was called like the Burning Bush Church or something like that.
Yeah.
And what they did was they took like the back fellowship hall, and they let us use that as the sanctuary.
Yeah.
So we put this huge like curtain up and everything.
Okay.
It was kind of like, it was pretty dumpy, but
So you had like your church was meeting in another church?
yeah.
Okay.
Because we were in a process of buying it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff with City Hall, and I don't know the details with that, but
Right.
because I guess the thing is you can't have a church like within 100 feet of a bar.
Okay.
Or vice versa. I don't know what it was, but they found a loophole to get around it.
Huh.
But it was still like ridiculous either way.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. But I remember some crazy stories being in there. Like I was a 7-year-old, and I'd walk back, and I don't know how it is now, but when we were there wasn't really good like cleaning.
No.
So there'd be like a bunch of like dead bugs in a corner, like stacked upon each other, and just spiders crawling everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, of course.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge building. We've completely renovated it.
It looks nice.
You probably wouldn't recognize it if you walked in there. I mean it's like pretty much all redone, and it's come like miles from.
That's sweet. So what was the reason behind the move from Parma?
You know, we I don't know. My pastor's always had a burden for Jackson, and a lot of our congregation drives in from Jackson as it is. So we just thought, let's move closer to town. It was always a little bit of a challenge to get people to commute, out to Parma. I mean, for us, it wasn't a thing because, we grew up in Napoleon. So,
right.
We were already driving half an hour to Parma for church.
Yeah, and we weren't even driving cars. We were driving tractors.
Right. No, we did drive a car. It's a little quicker that way.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so, my pastor had been looking for a building in town for a few years, and, a couple of them fell through, and then God finally opened a door, and it was just like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, that's a cool feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you mentioned living in Napoleon. So did you went to high school there then?
I did, yeah. I was homeschooled until 8th grade, and then I started in 8th grade at Napoleon, so middle school, and then throughout high school and graduated from there.
So you enjoyed your time there then?
I did, yeah.
Good.
It was a fun school.
Was it kind of crazier back then when you were like, because I'm sure you heard the stories from last week's podcast.
Right.
Were they like that, or were they more kind of like more normal where there wasn't crazy things?
I think there's crazy esque things that happen probably with every grade, every school. Like I'm sure Mr. Boer, he'd probably tell you, he shared a few stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I don't have the best memory, so I'm like.
Yeah, high school was that crazy for you, huh?
Yeah, it was that crazy. I was just like, wow. No, I'm.
That's what Vito's coffee will do to you, bro.
Right.
Oh,
no. Shout out to Vito.
Yeah, Vito's Espresso, sponsored.
Oh yeah, sorry we don't have a camera, so you can't see what we were doing. But I promise that's more beneficial for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So Napoleon, that was, you said 05 when you graduated?
05, dude. Gosh, what is that?
It's like 15 years, dude.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a while.
So with back to the Dapper Man hair.
Yeah.
You were telling us off air that you don't like being called the Dapper Man guy.
Dapper Man guy.
Is that like a pet peeve for you?
Kind of. It's funny because when you brand something, you never know how. I was listening to like a business book a few years ago, and they were talking about how just things are perceived by the public, and it's like when you come up with an idea, it's like, it's just like in high school or whatever, people start making fun of you for something that you think is cool, and you start doing it like, oh, that looks like this, because of like their experience. But it's like, yeah, the Dapper Man. I think a lot of people got that perception because when I first started out, it was just me. I have an apprentice now, and so I think as we add more stylists, like that will kind of go away. But yeah, people, since it was just me, they're like, "Oh, are you the Dapper Man? You're the Dapper Man?" I'm like, that's not what I really had in mind when I first started. I was like, okay, like Dapper Man, like you go here to get dapper, right?
What he really says though is like, is that even a question? Look at me.
Right. Well, it's kind of like tongue in cheek, I guess, because like I don't know, I've been going like more like grungy and kind of like, I don't know, not as.
You don't think that's as dapper?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I think of dapper, like you think of like really like well groomed and like
Vito.
Sure, but like a suit or something like that. But I don't know. So it's
we're calling him good looking. I don't know why he'd sue us.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
So yeah.
I guess like I could relate to that because I feel like when you do something that's like, I guess it doesn't even have to be good. If it's just something that makes you stand out to people, that's like their only way to remember you by, especially if they don't really have a relationship with you.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, you're that one guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it depends on
and you just better hope it's a good thing. Like, being a Dapper Man is not the worst thing.
No, absolutely.
Because if you were called, like, I don't know, toilet bowl licker guy, like, that would be worse.
Right.
Yeah, I would think. I don't know, unless you like that.
Yeah, definitely worse. But, no, yeah, it's definitely... it's something that's, like, I guess I've gotten used to it, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's like, I'm not, like, ashamed of it, obviously, because it is my brand, and I am proud of it, you know what I mean? But it's just, like...
But you want to also stand apart from that.
Like, that's... that's not all me,
Yeah.
It's not all I am, obviously, so.
But yeah, I mean, that's part of the, like, entrepreneurship thing.
Right.
Like, when you start something, like, for my parents, they own their own business, so, anytime I'm in Jackson and I see someone that they work with, it's, oh, you're Jeff and Kim's son. It's like, that's me. And it's like, you become part of that brand, which is both a good thing and in some cases, like, it gets a little annoying. It's like,
well, yeah, because you're like, where do I fit in?
Right.
But that's not something that, like, could be personified either. Like, they don't come up to you and be like, you're there's the spry sign guy.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like that's happened to you, though.
Yeah, I mean, people say that to my dad all the time, so.
Yeah. Well, I guess. So it maybe just comes with the territory, I guess.
Right.
No, it just runs in the family, actually.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's a good thing because it's like, people think of you in that way, and then the public, that spreads kind of awareness of what you do. Yeah. Which, like you said, can both be a good thing and also, like, kind of like, dude, I'm more than just that, you know?
Right. So. Yeah, it goes hand in hand, so it's all good. I need to get over it.
Well, no, I mean, I guess you, like... I mean, I'm sure it's probably like, dude, like, my name's Bradley.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's whatever, though. It's funny. Like, the softball, we were talking about softball earlier, like Tyler yelling at me, "Get it, Dapper Man!"
Yeah.
So he purposely didn't get it, too. He's like, you know what? I'm going to show you that. I don't want to be called Dapper Man, so I'm going to drop this ball.
No, yeah, it was funny.
So you've probably built, like, pretty good relationships through the years by, cutting people's hair then, right?
Yeah.
You hardly get regulars, like...
Yeah, for sure.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely always, hope that people come back. If they're happy with their haircut, that's what we always strive to get that repeat customer because that's how you build a following.
Yeah, you don't want to do like Edward Scissorhands and then hope that they'll come back.
Yeah,
but
one and done.
Yeah.
I will say though that I do enjoy it's always like I always look forward to like new clients because it's always like a new head of hair. It's like a new challenge. It's like, or even if it's like a client hasn't been in a while, it's like, wow, cool, I've got like a new fresh canvas to work on, as it kind of gets a little monotonous sometimes if you're cutting like somebody's hair every 2 weeks, and just doing the same cut, and it's just like, but we rock it out too. So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've seen a lot of the pictures and videos you post on social media of the stuff you do, and it's one of the better places I've seen ever. So
yeah, I mean,
you're legit for real.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I take a lot of inspiration from obviously like people from outside of Jackson, even Michigan, even like overseas, like UK and stuff like that. So trying to bring that here, I really saw like a need for that in the Jackson market, because obviously we've got a lot of like mall haircut places and just a lot of like salons geared more towards females. So we wanted to kind of create something that was more specialized towards men and give them that real tailored salon style kind of experience, but also a place where they feel comfortable, and they're not just like
oh, I'm at Supercut still.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How long have you been doing that now?
So it's been about 2.5 years since we've had the salon there on Trail Street, but I've been like licensed cutting hair for about 4 years. We had a studio inside the Armory prior to that. Okay. And that was kind of like a nice little startup situation there. So
yeah, I've been a couple times. I started my, I want to say sophomore year, because Fisher Jacobs, he got me into it. So I went a couple times, and then I tried scheduling an appointment, and you were just booked for like 3 months out, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to like plan this out. So
right, I know it's hard. Like honestly, that's one thing with COVID that has been kind of a benefit for like new clients is like we're not booked out quite as far as we used to be. Like now it's like if you look on my schedule, like you can probably get in like the same week. Okay. Just because the demand is like not quite as great as it was. Like we're still busy and everything like that. We're filling up our days, but not quite as far booked out, because obviously with COVID and everything, like there's not a lot of events going on. People aren't like, oh, I got to get fresh for the weekend because I'm going out or whatever. It's like, I got to get fresh.
Yeah, no one says I want to get fresh for home.
Right. Hey, you still got to look good for those Zoom calls, right?
I mean, yeah, I never leave pants on, but yeah. But so when you started cutting hair, was it pretty much like instant success with your business, like as far as growth, or was there kind of like some trial and error stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I had a few like really big cheerleaders early on that really propelled me.
Like in the air.
What do
you said cheerleaders. It was a bad joke.
Good one there. Sorry.
It's that coffee, bro. What did Vito put in there?
Yeah, so I mean, I had a buddy of mine that worked at Starbucks prior to opening the shop, and Del Belcher, he was like huge like supporter of like my business and like just basically telling all of his friends like, you gotta go get your haircut here, sharing his post, like he was just like really promoting like small businesses and like in mine especially, and I was like super grateful to that.
It was like boosting your confidence.
A lot of clients. Yeah. And then also you mentioned Tyler, Jackson Christian, and Fisher and like Drew Blackgrove. Oh yeah. I think Drew Blackgrove was the first one to come in from Jackson Christian, and then of course his brother Reese and on and on and on.
Yeah, there were so many guys. Yeah, like all the guys in that class.
That was a really cool time because it was like this like real trendy thing, and it kind of caught fire at Jackson Christian, and like a lot of you guys came through, and I was like, this is awesome. So like now we're kind of past that point where you guys have all cycled through. Like you're graduated now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like now we've got to get back in there and start all over again,
Yeah.
A whole new cycle,
Yeah,
so
I'll get my brother.
I was gonna say
you up there. So.
I think we've got like one guy that comes in stuff from Jackson Christian, but a lot of guys are coming in from like Jackson High and like Western and stuff like that. So
people are going bald at Jackson Christian though.
Going bald?
Yeah.
Like shaving their head?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. That might be bad for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, if Dapper Man can do it, then I'll do it myself.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, that's what's been cool. Like about obviously we were shut down back in March to June, 3 months we were completely shut down, and so I was really excited to get back in the shop when we reopened, and kind of like because it was like I said earlier, like doing a new haircut for the first time. It was like lots of grow outs, lots of home cuts, lots of self cuts, so it's like always
they all look like cheetah pets.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I still have some guys that are still coming in like, yeah, I haven't had a haircut since before March. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. But it gave a lot of people an excuse to kind of grow it out or try a new style, like they're like, hey, I got nowhere to go, might as well.
That's when you were like, you saw all these like horrible like home haircuts, and you're like, I'm never closing my shop again.
Yeah,
I can't let this happen.
Yeah,
not in my hometown.
Right. Not on my watch. Yeah.
So we mentioned softball earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you thought you'd be able to escape this one. But we're not going to talk as much maybe about how the season went, but maybe more of how like your team got assembled, like started in the league and how you guys wanted a team and how that went down.
So the what is the name of our league? Just
it's just a softball league. Yeah, I guess.
Do we have a
we don't have a name yet.
We need to get on that.
We have a bland commissioner.
Shout out Jacob Tuttle.
Oh, I was talking about someone else.
Yeah.
Oh.
So church league softball, yeah, it's something that's become a pretty big part of our lives, I guess. It's fun, right?
Yeah, you guys like come in like you're about to like go in the Gladiator.
Do you play on the team too?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep, I played second base.
I didn't even realize that, dude.
Yep.
I guess I didn't put it together. Like,
Yeah.
it was you were.
He's saying that you weren't noticeable on the field,
Right, I
dude.
know.
No, I mean like. You're not as vocal as Cam,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm the quiet guy on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's why he's not Clark, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
So you were asking how we got started in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of funny because it kind of links back to Dapper Man. One of my clients attends Jack's Naz, and I don't know. We were talking about sports and stuff like that, and he was telling me about some of the leagues and stuff that he's involved in with the basketball and stuff, and I don't know how softball came up, but he's like, actually there's a guy that we have a softball team, and they're on a league. I think they're looking for new teams. But I was like, oh, really cool. Like, so he gave me his like contact info, and some of my guys at my church had been looking to do something like that too, because our ladies had a team in the city too, and we kept talking about it because they'd played like, I think this would have been like their 4th year. So I feel like they played 2 years without us, and then we started ours, and but yeah, then we got involved, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been we're still in the hunt,
still in the hunt,
win.
baby.
But
there was a couple games this year you were pretty close.
We did,
especially against our church.
Yeah.
Not my team at all, but Encounter Blue. I don't know.
Good.
You guys had them on the ropes until the last inning.
We did.
And I was
know,
like,
man, there was a couple we could smell it. It was close, but it was like, man. It's funny because my pastor has an analogy. He was sharing with us. I think it was last year. We were talking about like, trying to keep everybody inspired. He's like, don't get down on yourselves, guys. A lot of these guys have been playing for years and years and years, and it's like when they first start out, everybody's kind of like a little bit more like even keel, right? Because it's like, hey, we all haven't played for a whole winter, right? So we're all kind of rusty, shake the rust off. But once you get back into it, you guys kind of, your trajectory is like a lot more steep. Like your talent goes like way up, right? Whereas us, we're still in that slow climb because we're still figuring the game out, right?
at least you're climbing though.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and I think this
Sean
year,
Scott, dude. I mean, shout out to him, but he probably sleeps with a glove, dude. He lives and breathes softball, dude. He's like showing me all this high tech gear he got, and I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
Hope your bank account's looking good.
He's all about it. He's kind of in the same boat as you. We just got married this year and stuff. So.
That's good to see though, because that means your team's still interested and that you guys aren't giving up. And,
yeah, we're excited for next year, man. Hopefully we'll get a little regular season in and some fall ball next year.
Well, so from what I last heard, talking to Jacob because he goes to our church,
right?
Which I don't know how did that look.
Track.
Well, by the way, how did that look to you guys having him on our team? Did that look kind of weird or was it?
Man. At the end of the day, it's like we're all just playing softball,
right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't know if it would be like, well, he's the commissioner because there's probably some other teams in the league that probably want to raise a stink about it.
No,
I didn't think it'd be a big deal.
I think he's very transparent. He does a great job with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
he doesn't really play favorites.
Yeah, it's not like he's vying for you guys. Always trying to get the upper hand or something. Like So.
Yeah, dude. I remember whenever we play you though, it's always fun though, regardless of what the outcome is, just because you guys just have like a very good like team spirit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like, I was super close to joining your guys' team this year. I don't know if you remember that.
I know.
But then I got thrown to the Wolves to coach the Encounter team.
Yeah.
And so, which was a good opportunity, so it worked out either way. But
yeah, it can be hard to remain positive. I don't know. For me, like the losing itself doesn't really impact me though. It's like I'm out there having fun. I'm still like out there, looking for that win. just always optimistic, you know. Like, I mean, I'm a Lions fan, you know. So
right, you're used to it already.
You know, it's like every year, you know, you get the optimism. Like now, we get the optimism going with the new interim coach, right?
Yeah.
Course, you know, Packers got the best of us yesterday, but
yeah, I know.
What are you gonna do, right? We'll get
Stafford's
him next
tough,
year.
though.
We'll get him next year.
Yeah, I'll get him next year. That's like the slogan for every Michigander.
Right.
I just remember though, like what stood out to me, I was like, man, these guys, if they can lose 30-0 and still stay like, no, for real, like if
just say that with a straight face.
Right.
They can lose 30-0 every week. No,
Bradley just gets up and leaves.
Bradley
Like,
gets up, he's just like, you know what?
I knew this was gonna happen.
He's like, and I thought Dapper Man would be the worst. Call me Dapper Man guy would be the worst of this, but no, you brought up a 30-0 softball game.
Yeah.
See you later. Your haircut's gonna be $100 next time I see you, and I'm gonna make you look like Helter Skelter. But what made me want to play for Calvary was, I was like, if they can lose that much and still stay like the most high-spirited team in the league, that's the kind of team I want to play for.
Yeah.
Regardless of who wins and loses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I like winning.
Right. I think
don't
it's natural, right? It's a natural
Right.
competitive thing as a man. Like, I mean, maybe just as a human, you know, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
You know, trying to, you know.
Well, everyone's looking obese then in our league, because no one's
super
the
fit.
survival of the fittest in that one.
Hey, it's generality. You know,
Yeah, it's
generality.
true. I just remember the tournament. They stacked us against Jack Snaz.
Yeah.
And then they put you against. Weren't you a first round? You had to
Yeah.
play in the first round. I was going to tunnel. I was like, it should be the worst team should be the one getting the bye.
Yeah. Right. I know it's always weird, like, because
So the top seeds can battle out and then move on.
who did we play? I can't remember. Did we play Rives or Encounter Blue first? I think
I think it was Encounter Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't the top seed. It was like, I think we had like the second one because the first, you know, I think you said the first seed had the bye. But yeah, I always thought, like, I guess that's just kind of a way to kind of make it move a little faster, right? Because you just kind of like pop out the little guys, you know, and stuff like that. Which,
Yeah,
you know,
but I
is
feel like
what it is.
I get that.
But I feel like everybody, for the most part, is pretty, like, I feel like there's some really good talent out there. I feel like everybody is pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, maybe. But it's...
By the way, he pointed at himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
As far as, like, the teams, like, I don't think there's, like, a real, like, obviously Jack Snaz and Grace are really good. But you guys are good, you know, like, there's every team. I look at every team, there's a lot of talent out there, you know?
Yeah, but that's the same for your team.
Yeah.
You have
we've
a
got some-
you have a
got
few
some
guys
studs.
on
You got
there.
some studs out there, you know?
Yeah, you've had a few guys that have been, like Sean, for instance. Like other teams would want him to play,
Right.
and he did for a couple games where he filled in for different teams. And
Yeah.
so that's a good sign to have. And I know he has a lot of passion too, on
Yeah.
wanting to do well. And
Oh yeah, yep. I know. It's sometimes the that like we mentioned, that drive to win, you know, kind of can get the best of you. You know, you're like, man. It's like, because you come out, you know, with the expectation to win and do
Right.
well, and sometimes the pieces don't always fit, you know, and it's like, but at the end of the day, we have fun. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing.
For sure.
Because like wanting to like stay in the league and play and have that, I think is what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Is that there's actually a league we can play in, and
Yeah, absolutely.
because there wasn't before I knew. If you wanted to play, you had to play in a city league,
Right.
Yeah.
and like that's okay,
Right.
but it's just not. I don't know. There's something. I don't want to use the word magical because people are gonna think I'm a little weird,
Mhm.
but there's like a charming quality about the league
Yeah,
that makes it like want to play in this
Right.
specific league.
for sure.
And it's not because it's not. It's probably even more competitive than in some of the city teams I've been in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess you just grow like that relationship with different people because
Yeah.
you see them a lot, and
Mhm.
especially playing at Ellis Sharp Fields this year was a plus move in my opinion.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was great
That was nice.
Yeah, I mean,
because you go to Shrek Swamp and Rives
Mhm.
one week, and then
yeah.
the next week you're at Naz, which is fine, but.
Yeah, that's a nice field too.
Yeah, but just playing at the Ellis Sharp Fields was just very like.
Yeah.
It seemed like Field of Dreams-esque.
Oh yeah.
I thought Kevin Costner was about to walk out and.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they actually weren't as nice as I thought they'd be. Like, they were nice,
Ooh,
like a lot nicer.
shout out.
They were. I guess like because that was my first time like even like being up by them. I guess like I just always remember like when I would run around Ella Sharp or whatever, drive by. It's like you always look up there and you're like, wow, it's fenced in fields. Like you just assume that they're just like pristine grass, and it wasn't terrible, but it was.
I feel like this year might have not been a good year to judge it because they didn't have people go out there.
Right.
They had to get some independent people to go out there because the city wasn't supporting it.
Oh, okay.
Because they shut it down. We were able to have our league because
That's fair.
we weren't a city league.
Yeah. Blame on COVID.
Yeah. What else is new?
Right. It's like the excuse that covers everything, right?
Yeah, I feel like guys are gonna have a hard time getting dates after this now.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna be like, hey, do you want to go on a, like they'll go to a girl and be like, hey, do you want to go out sometime? She's like, no, COVID.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, what is he gonna say?
Yeah.
He can't be like,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have it.
Right.
You get like thrown in jail nowadays if you say that.
Right. You gotta just
You start riots nowadays. You start
Right.
that stuff.
Right. Anyways. We don't need to talk more about that.
Yeah, Bradley has no comment on that one.
Yeah.
Are you all right there?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Okay. He's making like mouth sounds like it's ASMR or something. So, with the softball ending. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. So I have the inside scoop with Tuttles. The last thing I heard was he wanted to expand the season.
Okay.
From starting in the summer going into the fall.
Oh, okay. So
and make it
be
just
like
one big season.
Okay.
So I think it'd be like 20 games.
Nice.
Because I think there was 12 in the summer.
Yeah.
And that ended in August.
Okay.
So I think there might be like
so
a
be
week or two break.
October?
Yeah.
Nice.
Playing to mid-October was like
Yeah.
legit. It felt real,
yeah,
like
yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
And get a little like breath come out in the cold and stuff.
Yeah.
It's talk about survival of the fittest, man.
Right.
Of course, my father-in-law, and probably soon to be his soon father-in-law.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He would,
Very
be
into the family.
Oh yeah.
it'd be like one of the late. It was like one of the later games. I think it was like first week of October or something, or no, second week of October, and it wasn't cold at first. It's one of those weird days where, and the day it's warm, and when it goes night, it gets just super cold out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, well, it's not that cold out, and he just wore like his sleeveless jersey.
Yeah.
Like he's just like bench pressing all day.
Right.
And it got super cold, and so he started getting really cold, and he was just like, he just had to keep walking like through the dugout to stay warm, And he's like, I can't do this because like when you get to that old, you have guys that go like, I'm too old for this crap,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then the next week I see him, and he's wearing like an Under Armour like sleeve thing and a jersey and wearing pants.
You're in the fall season.
Yeah.
Jeez, I feel like there weren't.
I didn't think it was that
There
cold.
was like one day. I feel like one game that was like pretty chilly, but
Yeah.
I think I actually wore like a crew neck sweatshirt. But overall, like we were.
Man, always looking dapper, dude.
We were blessed. I mean, it was good weather most of the time. It was fun.
That was probably my favorite, playing fall ball like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I think I enjoy that better than summer.
Man,
Definitely.
it was fun. I don't know. I love it all. You know what I mean? I'm more of a summer guy myself. So like.
Do you like the warm weather better than the cold?
I do. Yeah. I'm like.
You do kind of look like a California boy.
Thanks. I guess.
You just look like a good surfer.
I'm like that. Like definitely when I retire, like I want to be like that snowbird, that goes down to Florida.
Oh yeah.
Because like the older I get, the more I hate the snow and stuff like that. Like even though we haven't had a lot like lately, but yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. Would you like taking up surfing if you had the chance?
Oh, I don't know about that.
You look like you could be like Lilo and Stitch's mentor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm coordinated enough for that.
Come on, dude.
But-
You played softball in Jackson.
I know. I don't know, but I love the idea of it. It's cool for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So you're a married guy too, right?
I am. Yeah.
How long you been married for?
It's been 8 years now. We just celebrated 8 years. Yeah, 2012.
Well, congrats, man. That's
Thanks,
cool.
dude.
I've been married, I think, let's see, it'll be on the 26th of this month, it'll be 3 months.
Nice.
So I got my notches in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Still.
I know all the knowledge.
Still in
Right.
that newlywed phase.
It does feel like that, dude.
Yeah.
It's so weird because it feels like you're still dating that person,
Right. Yeah.
But now you have like responsibilities, like,
Right.
oh, now I sleep on the couch tonight.
I feel like that's a good thing, though, right? Like, you shouldn't change. It shouldn't change, you know, like when you get married, right? It should stay fun and...
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, if it was just boring already, I'd be like, holy crap.
Right.
Not even 3 months in. But,
yeah.
It's been really good, though.
Nice.
It's definitely, like, something that... Because, you know, people... Because you don't look that old.
Yeah.
Like, you look like maybe late 20s at best.
Hey, I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome. I'll expect a free Vito coffee after that. But I'm sure when you got married, people were probably going to you being like, I think you're too young to get married.
No, actually, they weren't.
That didn't happen?
No. Because I was already
pretty
old.
how'd you... Oh, okay. They already
Even
knew
though
you.
I look young.
Sean Scott was calling you old.
No,
He's like, hey, after I call you old, though, you want to join my softball team?
I was actually one of like the last of my friend group to get married. Like all my friends were like married with kids, and I was still like.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So like they like having kids early then, huh?
Yeah, I guess like, so. But yeah, I was 25 when I got married, so.
That's not old.
No. I think that's a good age. But I mean, of course,
my parents were 25.
Yeah. How old are you now?
Yeah, they were 25. I'm 22.
22, okay.
And my wife just turned 23 a couple months ago.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like 25 is, you know, it was a good age. It was funny because, you know, when I was growing up, I was thinking, oh, you know, at 25, I'll get married at 25. You know, just thinking like planning my life out, you know. And
does that usually work out well for you when you do that?
Well, I was gonna say like the beginning of my 25th year, I was like, well, you know, I don't think I'm even close to getting married, you know, because like my now wife, you know, we were kind of on and off at that time, and it was like, but we ended up getting it all together and all worked out. And I still made it. I think it was September that we got married, and my birthday is November, so squeezed it in that 25th year. You know, still made it happen. So.
Yeah. So if you're wondering how he was able to get her back, what he said was, I mean, look at me. I'm gonna own this haircut place later down the road.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wish you were with me.
Right.
And I'm one of the best softball players in Jackson history.
Oh yeah. Well, that was before I knew. You know.
That's true. See, he didn't even know. See how modest he is, guys. Give a round of applause for him right there.
Right.
No, isn't it? It's weird though, because when you first are married, it's like you have those feelings of like. And it's just random too. Like you can just be in church or just out doing something or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like something trivial.
Yeah.
And you just have like that realization, like I'm married to this person right here. Like you're just not dating anymore.
Right.
But like you feel that psychologically, but what actually happens is you're still kind of the same.
Right.
As far as what you were before married, as far as like that relationship with that person. Yeah. But it's weird how like how much emphasis people put on marriage as far as like you're married now.
Right.
It's almost like if you don't feel that excitement, like you almost feel bad.
Right.
And like, do you ever feel that way early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said earlier, it's like I feel like it shouldn't change, like as far as your relationship. In some ways, like it shouldn't change a whole lot, but at the same time, it's like there's this whole new set of expectations I feel like people have for you, and I think it can be really overwhelming for some people. We had a lot of younger couples at our church get married. We actually had 5 weddings this year. I think like 4 of them were from our church, but
jeez,
it's crazy.
Did you host a bachelor show or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Man, I should have joined too, man.
They probably all got haircuts from.
They did. They were like, "Hey, you know, I have a great bachelor party package.
Yeah,
we can all spend the night at Dapper Man, and we'll just have Dirty Bird because I know Kyle Cochran, and I'm sure he can hook us up." And Vito's Coffee will probably make a visit too. He's a great bachelor party pad guy.
Yeah.
No, it's just weird because like you expect going into the wedding and like the marriage, like, oh, my breath should be taken away.
Yeah.
Like I'm married now.
Right.
That really hasn't been the case for either of us, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Hollywood like variation is always like very unrealistic.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say like I'm like disappointed. I wouldn't want that.
Right.
Because then I feel like I'm just kind of not sturdy.
Right.
Or grounded well.
Yeah, but it's like that with anything, you know. It's like I always think about that around Christmas time, right? Because you've got like all these Christmas songs, Christmas movies that kind of portray this like image of Christmas and how magical it's supposed to be. And
like Santa
that.
Claus.
Yeah, and it's like. What do you mean? No.
Oh, I forgot.
No.
Hey, Bradley still believes in Santa Claus, guys.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Don't ruin it for him.
No, but nice tree, by the way.
Thanks, man. Like he's trying to avoid the he's
Right.
like, that looks like a tree Santa would probably leave gifts at.
Yeah, but I think it creates these unrealistic expectations, right, for things, and it's like you're always trying to live up to that, like, and feel that way, and feel the way that it looks like they're feeling, but they're really just acting. But,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's worse.
Yeah.
If you're acting,
Definitely.
because then it's like, do you really actually love that person? Did you actually want to get married?
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's like. But see, people can get into trap though, because I don't feel that, like, we don't feel this way, but I know people that have, where they'd be like, oh, I don't feel that overwhelming feeling of I'm married. Does that mean I don't love this person? Or
Right.
And now they start second guessing themselves,
Yeah.
and it's like, and why'd you marry them? Like, did you only want that, or did you marry them because you actually wanted to?
Right.
Because if you did, then you wouldn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know
And I
people
think-
who like do that, and they're like already like their marriage is off to a rocky start because of
Right.
that, and that's just
And
it's
I
just
think
rough.
comparisons and stuff like that, and obviously social media plays into that too, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, we're constantly comparing yourselves to other people, like, who've just gotten married, or, their relationship, like, oh, I wish my relationship was like that, and it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like relationships take work, and it takes two to kind of make
Takes
it
two to
work.
tango.
Right, exactly. I was trying to avoid saying that, but
Oh,
it took
okay.
the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry, that will be the Patreon version.
It takes two to tango, or something like that. Yeah.
Takes two to tango or something like that. I
Yeah.
think that was like a Fleetwood Mac song.
No, well, I was referring to the, was it Billy Madison, I think? Was it Billy Madison?
Oh, yeah.
Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I think so. Well, okay, we can talk about movies right now. What are some favorite movies you have
Favorite movies?
that just stuck with you over the years?
Man. I don't know, man.
Well, what kind of movies do you like? Like, that appeal to you?
I kind of went through phases, I guess. I was into horror movies for a while, and then, like, when I was younger, and then kind of faded out of that. It's like, I have a very, like, obscure movie taste, I feel like. I've always enjoyed the Bond movies, obviously, like Dapper, the Dapper James Bond, right?
That's where he got his.
That was always-
That's where he got his inspiration from.
Yeah, that was
He's
always
like, Sean Connery is just the sexiest man alive. I want to make everyone look like that in Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Sean Connery, but, like,
Oh,
he was alright.
Yikes.
He points at
he was the
himself
OG
again.
though. Yeah, he like rates everyone
Right.
how they look, their
Right.
haircuts and stuff. He's like, 6.6.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. It's like I don't really like specific genres either. Like all the time, it's just like just kind of like certain movies from each genre that I pick out. It's like I can't even like think of like a favorite movie. Like obviously, movies these days have kind of I feel like taken a back seat to like TV series and Netflix and.
Oh,
all this
I don't.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't really watch anything
Right.
after the year 2000.
Right.
I'm an old school guy.
Well, yeah. Plus, movies these days have gotten so terrible, right? Like as far as like, just the the amount of like, sexuality. And,
Say it, Brad.
Hold me back.
He thought saying two to tango was too much. Jeez.
Right.
We might have to edit that out.
Right.
We're gonna strike down with lightning.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, trying to watch what you put in front of you, and stuff like that. It's like hard to watch anything from Hollywood these days because it's just like
Garbage.
right.
I feel like it's not even just that as much too as just like the scripts are just not even original either.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of remakes and stuff like
yeah,
that.
like they're just trying to cash in on the name, or they're just trying to cash
Right.
in on like a kind of movie script and stuff. And
Right.
because like some of mine, like you ever watched do you like watching older movies like from the 80s and stuff,
I don't know. Throw me one out.
like Die Hard,
Die Hard.
or
That's
like
from the 80s?
yeah,
Was it like 90s?
it was like 88 I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. With Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
know.
the best Christmas movie, by the way.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
What?
It counts as a Christmas
I'm
movie.
gonna watch it tonight.
Oh, I'll watch it with you, dude. I'll bring the Vito coffee.
Bring the popcorn. Yeah. I don't know if I've actually ever seen that. Honestly, it's terrible to say, but I know that's like an iconic movie for sure.
Oh, it is. It's a
I
great.
feel like
movie.
I've seen one of them, but I don't know which one.
Yeah, I
it
mean, there's
was.
like 13 of them.
Is there?
Speaking of 13 of them, Rocky.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I grew.
I
up on-
used to be obsessed with Rocky, bro.
I grew up on those ones. Like I remember Dad, like would rent those. He used to like those a lot. So.
I have an embarrassing story.
Yeah.
So
Do tell.
I used to be super obsessed with Rocky when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I'd get so into it. I made my mom buy like those American shorts that he wore, the USA flag ones that Apollo Creed wore and then Rocky wore.
Yeah.
When he beat the Russian.
Nice.
And so I'd wear them, and then I had these boxing gloves I found, but they were fake. They were like kid ones.
Yeah.
But that you could still like punch stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably just took foam from a couch and just put it like in a glove and just sewn it.
Right.
Naturally. Yeah, it looked like a C- home ec grade. Well, what I would do is I'd pretend I'm Rocky and I'm the other guy, like Clubber Lang or the Russian or whatever. And so I'd punch myself and like punch the air.
Wow.
And like I would like I would sit. Yeah, I don't know if like someone saw me in the window do this, they'd probably think I needed like help or something.
Right. Like,
They'd probably be like, "Well, dude, this guy has too much headspace."
That's funny.
Well, I got to Rocky 3.
Yeah.
And
Knocked yourself out?
No, I definitely was punching myself.
You went too far.
I was punching myself way too hard, dude.
TKO.
I did have a bruise. I left a bruise because I felt like the gloves weren't realistic enough.
Your parents are starting to worry about you. They're like,
they thought so they put me at Hot Topic.
You gotta stop hitting.
No.
Did you work at Hot Topic?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I should have though, the way I was looking.
Hot Topic.
But no, I thought the gloves weren't realistic enough because I wasn't feeling it.
No.
And I was trying to match the intensity of the movies, so I took off the gloves and was just punching myself.
Gloves are off.
Yeah, bare knuckle, dude, and I have a bruise on my face.
Oh my god.
No, what happened was I'm 8 years old when I'm thinking this, right?
Yeah.
I'm fighting Mr. T.
Yeah.
But I want it to be as realistic as possible, so I find a brown Sharpie.
Oh my god.
And I just color myself.
Oh my gosh.
And like my mom comes in, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
You're gonna get canceled. If you did that these days, you get canceled.
Oh, I know. I know.
Right.
But you know what though? I'm 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about that
You don't know
stuff
any
yet.
better.
And I'm
Yeah.
Japanese.
You really
I'm a
are?
quarter Japanese, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So like I didn't really experience a lot
Yeah.
of like racism.
Mm-hmm.
But there'd be like a couple things, and it never bothered me.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was kind of funny because I feel like if you can't laugh at yourself, it's
Sure.
what's the point?
People are too serious, too sensitive these days, right?
Yeah, for real. I mean, they probably wear diapers too, but some voluntarily.
Yeah.
No, but I'm 8, and what I'm doing is though I love Rocky so much, I want to match every detail about it.
Right.
So I did, and so I had to like take a 3-hour shower to take off all the Sharpie. And then, like, I painted everywhere, dude. Like, my whole legs, everywhere. And so she's like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
She's like, "You're never using Sharpies again."
Wow.
Which I didn't.
Yeah.
And so I was like 13,
Wow.
so she could trust me. Even then, she wasn't sure. She's like,
She's
"I
like,
think he
"Stay where
might.
I
I
can
think
see
he
you."
might go in his bedroom and paint himself again to
Right.
play Rocky."
Man.
But well, the Rambo movies,
Oh yeah.
those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those a lot. There's a movie called Young Guns
Young Gun.
from the 80s. It's like an all-star cast.
Okay.
It's about Billy the Kid.
Yeah. Now with Sylvester Stallone, he was the original Rambo too, right?
Yeah.
So like Rocky Rambo. So
Yeah.
on there. Big Sylvester Stallone fan.
Oh, dude. If I wasn't married to my wife.
What about the Expendables?
Oh, those are great. They're kind of cheesy, but
Oh yeah, super cheesy.
but
it's
it's
just like,
worth it though because
Right.
you know all those guys and you're like,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
it's just like that
It's like,
nostalgia factor, right?
you know what doctors should do? If like someone needs testosterone boost, they should just watch that.
Yeah.
And just be like, you don't even need a pill anymore. You're gonna watch Expendables 1 through 3, and you'll be set. You'll be able to crush dingers at Alice Sharp.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you have more questions, dude?
No, I don't really have much.
Wow.
We've covered
Look at how much he
the
wants to say to you.
We've covered the gamut.
Yeah, he was kind of like, I wasn't sure about this guest, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a
Nah,
whole
man,
lot.
Bradley's dope.
That's what he said about last week's guest, too.
It's like- oh yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. It's a pleasure. We'll probably definitely have to do a part 2.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys just want to have me come back every week, that's cool too.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. We might. We
Yeah,
could do a
get myself
part-time.
back.
We could do a
No.
part-time guest. He could just take over the show.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
actually on the stock market now.
Yeah.
It shares $100. No dividends, though.
No, honestly, seriously though, it's been fun. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me,
dude,
guys.
for sure, man. Well, take it easy, guys, and hope you like this episode.